Good morning students. Today's topic is thyroid function test. First, what is thyroid hormone? Thyroid hormone are of two types. One is T3 and another one is T4. These are the two main hormones that are secreted by our thyroid gland. TSH is secreted by pituitary gland and TRH, that is thyrotropin releasing hormone, is secreted by hypothalamus. Now these three hormones are interregulated by each other. How? First, hypothalamus. From hypothalamus, TRH is secreted. It stimulates pituitary to secrete TSH, and then this TSH acts on thyroid gland to secrete T3 and T4. Now this T3 and T4 sends the negative feedback to pituitary and hypothalamus so that further TRH and TSH is not secreted. Functions of thyroid hormone is to help in normal growth and development of human bodies. Now TSH has two subunit. One is alpha and another one is beta. And alpha subunit is common for other anterior pituitary hormones such as LH, FSH, gonadotropin hormone, and beta subunit is specific for TSH. Now, when we will collect blood for TSH, one thing we should keep in our mind: TSH shows a diurnal variation. Now, what is this diurnal variation? Diurnal variation is it is a secreted in circadian rhythm. At a point it is maximum in blood and another point it is low. So we have to collect blood in a proper time so that evaluation of thyroid function is proper. That TSH secretion is maximum towards night, and that's why it is most commonly collected rather midnight, and that's why it is most commonly collected in the early morning so that we can get a specific and correct value. Now, what are the methods by which this thyroid function test can be measured? It is mainly immunoturbidimetric assay. Different immunoturbidimetric assay includes ELISA, CLIA and ACLIA. These are all basically immunoturbidimetric assay. Now, total T3 and T4 are also measured by immunoturbidimetric method. Methods are for T4 assessment. Methods are such that one is a unbound fraction of thyroid in T4 in blood competes with radiolabel T4 or its analog, and it is measured by immunoassay. Another one is ultracentrifugation or equilibrium analysis. But of these two, this first assay is most easy, so that's why it is most commonly used. Now, there are some conditions where FT4 or rather this unbound T4 or T3 is more specific than total T3 and T4. Now, what are the conditions? And now what is the difference between unbound and bound or total T3, T4? Unbound means it is free in blood and it is the hormone that is acting in our body, and bound portion means it is bound with a protein. Here it is bound with a thyroid binding globulin. Now this TBG or thyroid binding globulin may increase in estrogen excess condition. What are these conditions? pregnancy, use of oral contraceptive pills, use of tamoxifen therapy, selective estrogen receptor modulator intake, and inflammatory liver disease. Now, there are some conditions where this TBJ may decrease. Most common is androgen excess or nephrotic syndrome. That's why it is always better to measure free T4 and free T3 rather than total T4 and T3. Now, TSH is measurement is sufficient or most important to assess thyroid function. But some conditions are there where only TSH measurement may be faulty. Now, what are the conditions? One is TSH secreting tumor. Another one is thyroid hormone resistance. In these cases, we may get increased TSH value, and if we do not measure T4 or T3, we may treat it as hypothyroidism. Now, there are some conditions where TSH may be low. One most common one is first trimester of pregnancy, and another one is after treatment of hyperthyroidism. Now, little bit about the procedure of this immunoturbidimetric method. What happened in this ELISA method? We take some streptavidin coated wells where we apply serum. Now, this serum contains T4, T3 or TSH. It will bind with this specific streptavidin or biotin present in these wells. After that, we add these specific antibodies for the T3 or T4 or TSH what we are measuring. After that, we go for a fixed period incubation so that a specific binding with this antibody and the T3, T4 or TSH present in this serum can occur. After that, excess antibody is washed out, and then we add substrate. Now, what is this substrate content? Substrate is nothing but hydrogen peroxide and TMB buffer. This helps in development of color after incubation for a specific time period. Now, next we will know a little about what is hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. First, hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism is a condition where there is excessive thyroid function. Another one is thyrotoxicosis. Thyrotoxicosis is a state of thyroid hormone excess. In hyperthyroidism, there will be thyrotoxicosis, but in thyrotoxicosis, there may be no hyperthyroidism. What is this? If there is excess of thyroid function, there must be thyroid hormone excess. So, hyperthyroidism is always associated with thyrotoxicosis. Now, some causes of thyrotoxicosis: primary hyperthyroidism, Graves' disease, toxic multinodular goiter, and toxic goiter, these three comes under primary hyperthyroidism. Now, thyrotoxicosis without hyperthyroidism. Some conditions are subacute thyroiditis, silent thyroiditis, or ingestion of excessive thyroid hormone. Secondary hyperthyroidism may occur in TSH secreting pituitary adenoma and chorionic gonadotropin secreting tumor. Now, what are the clinical features of hypothyroidism? Hyperthyroidism symptoms are hyperactivity, irritability, and dysphoria, weakness, fatigue, diarrhea, polyuria, heat intolerance, and excessive sweating, unexplained weight loss in spite of normal appetite, and oligomenorrhea and decreased libido. What are the signs? Signs are tachycardia and atrial fibrillation, tremor, goiter, warm moist skin, muscle weakness, lead retraction, and there may be also gynecomastia. Now, how we will evaluate a patient of hyperthyroidism? First, we will measure TSH and unbound or free T4. When there is increased TSH and there is decreased TSH and increased FT4, it is a clear-cut case of primary hyperthyroidism. Another condition may be decreased TSH and normal FT4. In this condition, first we will measure free T3. If there is increased T3, it is T3 thyrotoxicosis, and if it is normal, then this is subclinical hyperthyroidism. Subclinical hyperthyroidism patient should be followed after 6 weeks with again TSH and FT4 measurement. Now, if both are normal, then there will be no need of further testing. Now, in primary hyperthyroidism, if there are features of Graves' disease such as ophthalmoplegia, goiter, proptosis, or it is protrusion of eye, then we will stamp it as Graves' disease. If no, then we will have to assess by USG of thyroid gland and FNAC to detect if there is a cause of multinodular goiter or toxic adenoma or malignancy. Now, hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism. What are the clinical features of hypothyroidism? Symptoms are most commonly fatigue, weakness, hair loss, cold intolerance, constipation, weight gain, dyspnea, difficulty in hearing, hoarseness of voice. Now, signs are dry skin, bradycardia, puffy face, pedal edema, hair loss, carpal tunnel syndrome, and there may be also serous cavity effusion. Now, what may be the causes of hypothyroidism? It may be primary, autoimmune, iatrogenic, or treatment with iodine 131 or thyroidectomy. Drugs most commonly are iodine, amiodarone, antithyroid drugs, iodine deficiency, infiltrative causes are sarcoidosis, amyloidosis, hemochromatosis. These all come under primary. Now it may be transient, seen in case of subacute or silent thyroiditis or viral thyroiditis or postpartum thyroiditis. It may be secondary. Secondary cause may be hypopituitarism or hypothalamic disease. Now, how we assess or evaluate a patient of hypothyroidism? First, we will measure TSH. If it is increased, then we will measure FT4. If it is decreased, it is primary hypothyroidism. And if it is normal, then it is subclinical hypothyroidism. Next, we will go for TPO antibodies, that is thyroid peroxidase antibodies. If it is increased or positive, it is a case of autoimmune hypothyroidism. If it is negative, then other causes of hypothyroidism should be evaluated. And if FT4 is normal, then fine, no further follow-up is required. But if FT4 is low, then we should also rule out effects of drugs. What are the other modes except blood test that is required for thyroid testing? One is radionuclide scan, another one is USG of thyroid gland, and another one is FNAC. That's all for this thyroid function test.